Welcome back to the 12th episode of Heartbeat of the Timbavati. We kickstart with some of our nocturnal species that you could find during the evening as you make your way back to the lodge. There is a whole array of them, so let's have a look at what we've managed to spot during recent days. The Varro's eagle owl is Africa's largest owl. With powerful talons, these owls hunt small mammals like hares and monkeys and will sometimes be seen hunting on foot. The porcupine, Africa's largest rodent, very shy, and sightings of them are normally brief. The southern African wildcat. Although they are mainly active at night, with peaks of activity before dawn and after dusk, wildcats can also be seen in daylight, especially in the cool early mornings or evenings during winter. We often spot the strictly nocturnal small-spotted genets, but a female with her youngsters crossing the road was a stroke of luck. Well, I hope you enjoyed some of our nocturnal friends. Let's head over to an epic sighting of the African wild dog and one of Africa's most secretive animals, the pangolin. So eventually we got to find wild dogs. A species that I haven't showed you guys, so I'm very excited to show you guys. With a quick head count, I think there's about 8 now. But part of this pack there might be about 17 or 18. I'm speaking under correction, but at least we get to find our painted wolf. Alright, so at least for now the dogs are static and they are all sleeping at the moment, but they're very restless animals, so it's quite difficult keeping a sighting of these guys, because if there's something walking by, it's in a heartbeat they'll actually get up and chase after it. But they are static for the moment, finding some good shade. Did a quick head count and I sort of counted 17, but there might be 18 lying in different areas, so it's difficult to count all of them, and the grass in certain areas is quite long as well. But yeah, typical example of our pack animals, our local wolves over here. And typically the social structure consists of an alpha and a beta pair, or sometimes just an alpha pair, which is the two most dominant in the hierarchy of the pack, the most experienced dogs as well. And it's typically them that will also breed, and the rest will be helpers to raise the pups. So it's just awesome finding them. We've been finding so much lion and leopard, but didn't have a chance of getting to see the wild dogs or sharing the wild dogs with you. So it's great to actually see them. So these guys are also known to be the most successful predator that we've got in the bush. At about a staggering between 85 and 92% striking rate. Every single time they go for something, they've got a 90% chance of actually killing it. So they're very successful, and that brings it back to the pack dynamic, the fact that they work together to tackle game or to hunt animals. That makes them quite successful. So it's amazing to watch these guys. They are busy sleeping, like I said earlier, but it's great to having them here. It's actually denning season for these guys now, and their denning season synchronizes with that of the impala's rutting season. Now the theory behind that is that when the impala males are actually fighting with one another over females, they lose condition, and during these times they lose so much focus of what's happening around them that it's actually a galore for the predators. So even leopards hammer the impala rams and the wild dogs as well. So the theory behind it, like I said, is the fact that when the wild dogs den, there's a lot of food available. Impalas are in the rutting season, so it's a much easier chance of catching prey. Bring it back to the den and regurgitate. So that's what makes it wild dogs are known for, regurgitating food when they get back to the den site. So they'll actually get back to a den site, and one or two of the helpers of the pack or subordinates will be at the den site itself. And let's say, for instance, some of the adults return, they get back to the den site, they will actually regurgitate the food for the others to feed on. And they're so keen on feeding one another that piece of meat that was regurgitated can go up to 3 to 4 times to different individuals. It's actually fascinating how they try and assist each other to get a little bit of protein in, and that is for the greater good of the entire pack's future as well. Yeah, alrighty, so it's 20 to 4 in the afternoon now. For wild dogs, that's still quite early. They will get up and active probably in the next half an hour to 45 minutes. For now, they've all got full bellies and they're resting, so they're moving from shade to shade. Like I said, they're very restless animals, so even when they do sleep, they only sleep for a little bit and then move again. Sleep a little bit and then move again. So gonna stay with them a little bit longer and see maybe we get some action as they run through the bush, but it's very difficult to follow these guys, so I'm not keeping my hopes up, but stay with me. So as we're sitting here, you can actually smell the dogs. They've got this very sweet, sourish kind of scent to them, and that's unique to the pack. So everybody needs to smell like one another. So sometimes if you're lucky, you'll actually see when they do interact. One will urinate or defecate and the others will actually go roll around in it, just to get that scent of the pack, so that when they are separated, and they do sometimes separate as a pack, when they meet up again, immediately by scent and sound, they can identify that this individual is actually from the same pack. So to think about it, when these guys do consider denning, and when they're moving into an area and the alpha female is looking for a place to den, they typically seek out big termite mounds, which has already been excavated in either by aardvark and then over the years by porcupines and warthogs that may have stayed in it. Gives them a comfortable entrance and actually little tunnels to the inside and so on, where the puppies could be given birth to and stay in there and stay safe. But they'll also regular move den sites. When the puppies are very, very small, they'll stay for longer, but as soon as the puppies can start moving around with the parents a little bit more, they will change den sites. Every 2 to 3 days actually, that they will change, sometimes even overnight as well, that you'll find them in different den sites. Out of experience that I have seen, is that we had a glimpse of one of the females and we saw a big fat belly with some mammary glands and some swollen mammary glands as well. So they're very close to denning. So if they den close to this area, happy days, happy days. So the dogs is up and active, and there was some amazing interactive behavior between them. Beautiful light as well. But in fact we're counting more than 22, 23 dogs, so I'm not sure if this is even a bigger pack, more than 23 perhaps. It does look like it. Everywhere you look is dogs. We're not complaining. Anyways, but we are following them. They are constantly, or they are currently walking on the road itself, and they like to use the road for good hunting opportunities, these guys. They can see far ahead of them, and they usually leave the road when they do run after something to stay concealed. But yeah, let's keep on following them and see if we can actually see a hunt happening. So the sun is unfortunately touching the horizon, and that means that this will almost become a negative lock, is what we call it, because they are diurnal predators. We're only allowed to view them by day. We still have about another 15-20 minutes to go until it gets completely dark, but that's more or less our gauge with regards to dogs. If I had to elaborate on that, they actually do hunt at night sometimes, but mostly at moonlit nights, and sometimes up to 2 to 3% of their kills are actually made during moonlit evenings once a month. Anyways, we're going to try relocate on them one more time, and then I think we're going to throw in the towels and take it as another day. Well guys, I just came to check on some tracks over here at Rockvik Dam. We lost them, like I said earlier, so it's quite disappointing. Yeah, it's disappointing, but there's always tomorrow. So you guys can see Rockvik Pan over here in the background. We're going to slowly head back home and call it a day, but until the next sighting, I'll catch you guys then. Thanks for joining. The pangolin. These animals have roamed our planet for almost 80 million years. There are 8 species worldwide, and all 8 species are now considered threatened with extinction. Though pangolins are protected by an international ban on their trade, populations have suffered from illegal trafficking due to beliefs that their scales can stimulate lactation or cure cancer and even asthma. Our anti-poaching units work tirelessly day and night to protect these sacred animals so that they can continue to thrive in their natural habitat. As a guide, you are extremely lucky to find these ant-eating animals a handful of times in your career. Pangolins usually move around after dark, but are sometimes seen during the day. They sleep in aardvark or spring air holes or buried in piles of vegetation. Each pangolin has several refuges scattered through a home range of up to 12 square kilometers, and its favorite food is ants, which they locate by smell. It scratches open ants' nests with its front claws and licks them up with their long, sticky tongues. It is our sole responsibility as humans to protect the vulnerable, and collectively I still believe we can. For our future generations, may these sacred and beautiful creatures live forever. Thank you for watching, and remember to tune in for the next episode. From Rockvik Safari Lodge, we say goodbye. Stay safe and cheers for now.